Hello. Hello. Happy Friday, everyone. How are you? Hello. Ooh, hello. I don't want to delete anything, but happy Friday. I am so happy to be here on Friday at 7 p.m. And I just want to welcome everyone to my weekly live. And today's topic is a crucial one for anyone who runs a small business. We're talking about how to avoid costly bookkeeping mistakes that can impact your bottom line and create major headaches come tax season. So you know that's around the corner. Tax season is up and ready to start. Tax filing season, because tax season is all year long. So I want to start today's session like basically, if you know who I am, I'm Corrine Wright, the owner of Faith Account Consulting Services. I am a mom. I am a wife, a daughter, everything. And I'm a woman, of course, woman business owner. And I just want to be out there to help other business owners, small businesses, mompreneurs, women entrepreneurs, everyone out there that needs this. Listen, this story is for you. And I just want to say this might resonate for many of you, especially mompreneurs out there. So imagine this: a mompreneur named Judy who runs a handmade jewelry business works day and night to balance her business and family. Like many small businesses owners, she's a one-woman show. She's wearing 17 different hats. She's managing everything from product design to shipping and even her bookkeeping. She thought she was doing okay, tracking her expenses in a simple spreadsheet and keeping receipts in a box. But at tax time, Judy realized she missed tracking a few key expenses, and her total revenue was off because she hadn't reconciled her sales accurately. So it's a common scenario, and fixing those mistakes took up precious time and money. It costs us a lot. Um, that's why I'm here today to share some simple but essential tips that can save you time and keep your finances in order. We'll talk about common bookkeeping pitfalls, ways to prevent them, and best practices to help you stay organized. Okay? So take out some paper and pen and just listen. So first mistake, mixing personal and business finances. The first thing, one of the business biggest mistakes is mixing personal and business finances. Judy, our mompreneur, was guilty of this in the beginning. It's so tempting to swipe the same card for both personal and business expense, but it can make your accounting chaotic and lead to major headaches at tax time. Always keep a separate account. It's essential for accurate record keeping and will save you countless in hours in the long run. Like this is really this is a real big thing. Like you don't want to use your personal cards for business because at the end of the day, if you ever got audited by the IRS or the state, they might ask you for those statements. It might be easier to provide statements than there would be to provide like any receipts if you can't find any receipts, right? But if you're mixing all these things up, now you have to figure out where you paid for this. You have to pull these statements instead of just going to one place and be able to just, provide that one thing of record. So that's that mistake. And I see that a lot. Like, I'm not going to tell you, that's like the top one. That's like 95% of the things that we do when we're doing cleanup and catch up is because we have to make sure that we're bringing over personal transactions over to the business side and making sure it's being recorded in their accounting system, and then also taking whatever is personal in the business and pulling it out and all that stuff. So that is like we have to untangle a lot like a web at the beginning. So you want to avoid that. Mistake number 2 is ignoring reconciliation of accounts. Reconciling accounts is the step that many skip or rush through. So Judy used to think she could track without balancing her records against her bank statements. But by the end of the quarter, she found errors that could have been avoided with regular reconciliations. By reconciling each month, you catch errors early and you always know where your cash flow stands. So that helps with that part right there. The next thing is another common slip up is neglecting to track smaller expenses. For Judy, it was things like packaging materials and supplies for craft fairs. So those small expenses add up over the year, and missing them can mean you're not getting a full picture of your expenses. So remember, every dollar counts when it comes to tracking your business costs, because at the end of the day, every expense is basically a tax deduction when it's in your business. Another common thing that I noticed most of my clients mix when they're using spreadsheets or just thinking on the top of their head around tax time what they're doing, they always forget about interest charges. They forget about bank fees that they're paying. Those are the common ones. And at the end of the day, that could be thousands of dollars when you forget that you didn't put down the interest expense on your credit card for your business, and you didn't put down the bank fees that they're charging you, and then if you had late fees, you didn't put that down, and if you had overdraft, those are all these fees start like ballooning and you forget. Next mistake is not planning for tax deduction. Judy also didn't realize all the tax deductions she could claim. So as business owners, we must be aware of deductions. Oh, I went in the dark. Hold on, let's see if I can turn you back on. Okay. So basically, Judy forgot she was eligible for office space, utilities, travel, and even a percentage of her home expense if she's working from home. So keeping track of these all year will set you up to save when it's tax season rolls around. So does any of this sound familiar to you? Have you found yourself making any of these mistakes? Let me know in the comments and let's talk about it. Let's chat this out. Like, let's not miss this, right? Let's talk about it. So let me know what you have. At this time, like if you have any questions, you can put it in a comment. I would love to hear your questions. I keep going in the dark. So I probably got like 2 more minutes before this thing dies. So one question I did have that was sent to us direct message was, what if I already mixed my personal and business expense, and how can I fix it? I think we just went over that real quick, but let's pull that up here. And basically, no worries. It's like I said, it's a very common situation. So start by reviewing your statements and separating each expense, like moving forward with a dedicated business account. And a professional bookkeeper can help you untangle. Oh, shoot. A bookkeeper can help you untangle past transactions and set you up for success moving forward. Like I just said, we go in and we're untangling that. Like we're making sure we're getting the personal over into QuickBooks, that the personal transaction that were personal, purchase with your personal credit card or whatever, and make sure if you are using your personal cards, make it to be like a one-time thing. Create the process on how you want your business to reimburse you. Do not make it very volume heavy that you're using your personal. Another thing is reach out to an attorney, because you might be doing some legal thing, not illegal, but you're going to be. We had Kiana come here before and she went over the corporate shield. You're going to probably pierce that if you're doing that. So that's just on the legal side, but I'm not a lawyer, so like I can't give you those advices, but reach out to an attorney about that too. And then the next question I have is, I struggle to keep track of my receipts. Do you have any recommendations? Absolutely. So you're going to try to start using digital tools like QuickBooks or Expensify, where you can scan and store receipts. This will help you keep organized, and you'll have everything ready for tax season. If you don't even want to introduce those apps or whatever, and you're like, for instance, still using spreadsheets, you can also take a picture on your phone. I know Apple, I'm an Apple person. Apple has been changing things up on their iOS 18 thing. So you can also take pictures, create its own like album of all your receipts. That's another way to do it if you don't want to pay anything. My last question I have, I don't see any other questions. Let me just check the comments and everything. Let's see. If I keep going that dark, this is my last question, because technology ain't technology for me today. How often should I reconcile my accounts, and what's the benefit? So basically, I've said this many times. You should reconcile every month to catch any discrepancies early. Regular reconciliations help you understand cash flow better and prevents larger issues at quarter end or tax time. So do that. Like I told you, my story of the year, and I'm probably gonna say this forever and ever. I had a client. They were doing payroll, direct deposits, running it. It's like on auto transactions. Didn't realize that somebody got a hold of the payroll account numbers and started writing checks out. They were only able to, how many checks they were able to. They could only do for either 2 pay periods or just one time. For it only stopped in that 1 month, because once we did the reconciliation, we caught it right away. But if we did not, they would have took a lot of money if they waited till tax time or the end of the year. So with that being said, it was a pleasure being here. My technology ain't taken. The dog wants to start barking. So I'm going to sign out of here. And thank you so much for joining today. Remember, bookkeeping doesn't have to be overwhelming. Simple steps like keeping separate accounts and reconciling regularly make a huge difference. And mark your calendars for our next free webinar on November 12th at 7 p.m. We will dive into beneficial ownership information. And I just want to switch this up real quick. We're not diving into anything. BOI is due January 1st, 2025, if you had an existing business before 2024. So with that being said, we are going to be on that webinar on Tuesday, November 12th, because we are going to file. Everyone that's on that call will be doing the beneficial ownership information compliance on the call, because once the holidays hits, I already know it. We see it. Most of our clients are just on a holiday high and they do not want to talk about nothing. They don't want to do anything about compliance. So we're doing it on that call, because they basically, once you do that, you don't have to be worrying about $500 a day penalties if it's true and if it's not. But you don't have to worry about that. It'll be done. It'll be taken care of, because it's due December 31st, basically. If it's doing the first, you have to make sure you get it done before that, because 9 out of 10, if people are rushing to do around that time, the systems could crash. We never know. Technology ain't teching. As you can see, I'm in the dark right now. But if you haven't yet, please reach out if you haven't yet, please register for the webinar. You can just, if you're on Instagram, just say comment link and you will send it over to you. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, comment I'll also post the link again for that in the comments, so you can just go in and register for it. But on that call, you're going to finish your BOI. It's going to be done. You can forget about it. And now you can just worry about what you're eating for Thanksgiving and what you're buying people for Christmas. Okay, that's simple. So also, don't forget our 1099 processing deadline. If you haven't yet, please reach out to us by November 15th to secure your spot. We will start processing the 1099 for your 1099 workers or contractors in January, but we are starting to get everything together, because we want to make sure we reach out in the last month or so to all your contractors to make sure we have all our W-9s completed. But it was wonderful being on here today. Enjoy your Friday. Most of us have a 3-day weekend. Enjoy your 3-day weekend. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for serving for us, for our country, and keeping us safe. Have a good one. Bye-bye.